Hey, welcome back to my channel, Brooklyn's library, period. So today we are doing a horror bingo check-in because I need to see what else I need to read before October to complete my board. If you don't know what horror bingo is, you need to go and follow the link below. Hello, Sarah Wicked Reading, period. I am going to, okay, let me back up a little bit. I got this kind of check-in idea because Alicia from Alicia Reads and Runs, I will link her video as well. She pretty much like sat at her computer, I think, and went through each tile and was like, oh, this book I read coordinates to this. So I was like, hold on, I can do something similar because I have been keeping track in here, but I don't have it written down anywhere. And also this is going to be my TBR as well because I know that I haven't finished all the prompts. So we're doing a check-in and TBR. What I'm doing is I have my iPad here with Canva. I'm going to screen record it and we're going to add the pictures to the corresponding tiles. So the first one is published in 2025. I read We Love You, Bunny. Next is mixed media, which I don't have one for that, so we'll need to do a TBR for that. The next one is indie self-pub, once again, a TBR. Paranormal, I'm gonna put the reformatory and paranormal, and why are we not automatically bringing these to the front? So what the hell? I pressed the wrong button. This is like live footage of me trying to make a thumbnail. Okay, the reformatory. Nope, it's in this. Yep, okay. Lots of pressure I'm feeling. Okay. Next is Stolen from Another TBR. That I still have to do. The first row is not looking up for me, the first row. Then we have Vampires, which I put Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Amazing book. If you guys have not read that, you need to get on that. Like literally, I don't know why I have to keep telling you guys. Gosh, so frustrating. I just want to be heard. Okay, Water Setting, TBR. Next is Horror Movie Element. I'm gonna go ahead and put My Heart is a Chainsaw because in My Heart is a Chainsaw, the main character is obsessed with horror movies and she is always referencing them. So I feel like, oh my god, if I could press the right freaking button, that would be great. I feel like this counts, and if it doesn't count, let me know and I'll just read something else because we love horror in this house. Spell ghost or scare. Okay, this one I had to put strange pictures because it's spelled, hello? Oh, it spells scare. And let me tell you something about strange pictures. I feel like I was the only one on this planet who didn't like this book. Did you read this? Did you like it? Please let me know where your tea is because I ended up having to skim a lot of it. I'm not going to lie to you because while I was reading it, I was like, I don't see what everyone else sees in this one. Liminal spaces for that. That's a TBR, isn't it? Library book. I can literally put anything on here because I get all, oh, that's a lie. All is a lie. I get most of my books from the library. So for this one, I'm gonna put When the Wolf Comes Home because I couldn't fit it into another category and I wanted to use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in library book. Girl, oh my god, can you like okay, layer, bring to the front, library book, because I did borrow that from the library. Also, why is this book so big? Okay, picked by chance. That one I am going to have to say TBR. You have been putting a book you have been putting off. Easiest thing I can ever choose is The Picture of Dorian Gray. My friend has told me to read this book like a million times because it is one of her favorite books. And here's the freaking tea. The Classic Scares book club with Angel, Lauren, and Brianna and myself, we read this book together. So I have definitely been putting that book off. And here's the tea with that. I had 3 months to read this book for the book club, and I was still putting it off until the last week. Don't judge. I feel your judgment through the screen. LGBT rep most of my junk. Most of the books I read are LGBT, but for this one, the other LGBT books that I read, I'm using them for something else. So I did not put it in this. Buddy read, I'm gonna go with Guillotine because I buddy read this with my Women's Wrong Support Group book club, and Bessie Boo Sarah is gonna be hosting. Okay, lock in. It's gonna be hosting the live, so I'm gonna put buddy read here for this one. And I just finished this before I started before I started filming this video. Just pretend that you understand what I'm saying. Okay, next is recommended. Okay, a recommended book, if I've ever seen one, is The Devil Takes You Home. Another one of my close friends, this is one of her favorite books, and she's quite literally the only person that I heard of read this book when, like, I didn't seek out The Devil Takes You Home. Amazing book. It's like it's a horror crime type situation. I loved it. I think this book was amazing. I think it was just like, I don't know how to explain. I previously talked about it before, but it's one of the best books that I've read, I feel. And it's in Spanglish. The dialogue is in Spanglish. And so I really loved that element. I felt bilingual when I was reading it. Yes, my 800-day streak of Duolingo really did something for me. Okay, the next book is novella, and that, of course, is gonna be Ring Shout. This one, now why is it looking like that? Okay, bring to front, and we're gonna crop this down because that is offensive. Bloom is what I'm gonna do for Plenty/horror because, oh my god, okay, I know that a lot of people don't like this book that much, but I freaking loved it. I thought it was eerie. Love the sapphic elements. Like I said, I put my LGBT stuff for other things. Love just everything about that book. One of the people own and live on and do most of their work on a farm. They talk a lot about like animals and plants and stuff. So, and hello, look at the cover. I really feel like that counts for horror, or no, Planty/eco. And if it doesn't, like I said, just like let me know if you disagree, because then I'll just read something else. Like, what's the freaking tea? Okay, a title that includes a verb, play nice, because play is a verb. If you didn't know, welcome to Grammatical Lessons with Brooklyn's Library. Maybe I shouldn't be the one giving grammatical lessons, but nonetheless, here we are. Okay, can we? Thank you. Okay, second chance. Second chance is misery, because first of all, okay, I'm about to spill a secret with you, and just don't say anything. Me and Stephen King, we don't have the best relationship. I don't really like his books that much. Like, if we're being honest, I read Misery, The Shining, Dolores Claiborne, and why can I not think of it? Misery, The Shining, Dolores Claiborne, Carrie, and Salem's Lot. I really only like The Shining out of all of them, unfortunately. I did try to watch the movie, or not try, I tried to read the book when I watched the movie, but I just could not get into it. And so in December, my friend and I, Buddy read this one, so it could count for Buddy read too, but I'm putting it for second chance because me and Stephen King just have that relationship. And then Animal on the cover is obviously gonna go to my girl Bunny. I reread this for the 4th time in January because, and I'm sad about this, Monowad was supposed to be coming to my library to do a We Love You Bunny conversation and book signing, but she didn't end up doing that. I don't know why. It just said, oh, she can't make it in the email. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just depressed. One word title. That's also could be Bunny, but I'm going to put Confessions here. And if you guys haven't read that, you need to get on that. But also lower your expectations. It's really good. It's just, I don't want you to go into it because of me thinking, oh my god, this book is really good, and then like be not impressed, you know? So like read it, but like when you're in the mood for something thrillery, because it's like, I think it's a horror, but I feel like it's more thriller. All right, next is debut book. I love this book. One of the best horror thrillers, I think, that I've literally ever read. This was her first book. I'm like, girl, are you crazy? Are you crazy? If this is your first book, Julie Chan is Dead, you're crazy, and you need to immediately write more. Like, one of my favorite books ever. It was so fast. It was so fun. I just love everything about it. Okay, and then Works with Another Goal, I believe, yeah. Works with Another Goal, What Hunger. I needed to read this one for my Women's Wrong support group as well, so we can have a live conversation. I did that with Becca from Becca Copeland here on YouTube. And that was a really good time. If you haven't read What Hunger, or you are reading it and don't really like it, I would say to just finish it and then think back on it, kind of like you're doing a book report, because when I first read this book, I thought it was okay, and then I was on live having the live conversation with Becca, and I was like, okay, hold on, this book is actually really good. I think it's I think the writing is kind of young for what it is, so maybe that had something to do with me not liking it at first. Social commentary, that's going to be very your gaze, because do you guys know the term bury your gaze? It's a popular trope in TV where like the gay character always dies, and it's just like so annoying, but it's a reality. Hello. And it's like, yeah, so the producers want him to kill off his two main leads for his show. They're sapphic women. They're like, kill them off or make them straight. Like, I'm not trying to play with you. And then he's like, okay, but I really don't want to do that. So they're like pressuring him into killing off his characters. He's a gay man. Social commentary. But the stuff that is happening in this book, which I can't really talk about because that gives away major things, is like similar to the queer experience in real life. So that is social commentary if I ever heard of it. And another one that would work with that is the reformatory, and I almost put that there and then put bury your gaze into the LGBT, but I have other LGBT books that I read, so I can just do that later. Okay. Yep, that's everything. So this is what my horror bingo is looking like right now. I have 2 bingos on the board as we are speaking, and then I need to read a mixed media, an indie book, Stolen from Another TBR, Water Setting, Liminal Spaces, Picked by Chance, and LGBT Rep. So for mixed media, I am thinking of reading, and I know what you're gonna say. I'm thinking of reading that book, Hidden Pictures, because there's pictures in it, one. And number two, I know a lot of people don't like that book because it's giving transphobic, I heard. However, I'm just like so curious. I need to know what happens in that book. But I'm fully going into it with the expectation that I'm not gonna like it, but I don't know, like, it's just intriguing to me, and I have to see what people are talking about. Indie/self-pub, I don't have something on my TBR that I'm gonna read for this. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I think I'm gonna go on Kindle Unlimited and search. And then Stolen from Another TBR. Okay, I didn't write that down. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch a couple of the Horror Bingo TBR videos from October 2025, and I'm gonna pick a book from there. And then water setting, I'm going to read Where I End, because I really have been meaning to read that book, and I know a lot of people here on YouTube are starting to read it and starting to love it and say that it's really disturbing and everything. I recently got that book on sale for $7 at the bookstore, so I'm gonna read that. And then Liminal Spaces, I could count, I'm going to reread We Used to Live Here. I could count that, but I also want to read The Caretaker, so I might count that instead. It just really depends. It really depends on what I feel like doing. Okay, Pick by Chance, I can't really put a TBR down for that one because obviously it's one that you just stumble upon and read. So I'm not gonna pick one for that. And then for the LGBTQIA+, I'm gonna pick Blood on Her Tongue because that's a book that I can borrow from a friend, and I have been meaning to read that. Hello, the cover is giving stunning. It's giving stunning. So that is everything. I'm gonna stop screen recording. That is my Horror Bingo check-in and TBR for the rest of the titles that I have left. I hope that you all really enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and comment, and also subscribe. Hello. And make sure you check out Sarah's video, check out Alicia's video, just like watch all of the videos on YouTube. Period. Alright, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you later. Bye!